Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
And I'm Bob. Happy Friday.
Welcome back to our Top 5 Friday ski industry news videos. Bob, welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, I had a great time at the fair last week with the kids.
Yeah. Matt was like jealous.
He was offended that I didn't ask him to come to the fair.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Weird thing to hang his hat on.
I mean, big kids are welcome there too.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
He has his own car.
Yeah, he could have just gone himself. Paid for his own entry fee. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
There was a comment on one of the comparison videos that was like, well, it's really refreshing to see Bob back. I wonder if that person was worried that you were gone.
Gone forever.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
I know where he lives. I'll find him. Hope everyone's been enjoying the comparisons. If you didn't notice already, we've got another one behind us. We haven't filmed it yet. We actually just put the wall together today, and this will be men's all-mountain skis in the 90 millimeter range. And we just posted the mid-90 video this morning. So today's a double video release day. Always exciting.
Yep.
So check that out if you haven't already. There were a few comments that came in almost right away. One of them was wondering why there were no declivities. One of them was wondering why there's no Unleashed 98. And that's because it's just the way that we cut the categories. So basically the mid 90s, with one exception, but it's a weird exception, the Rustler 9, was 93 to 97.
Yeah.
So like the 100 comparison will be 98 to 102. The 90 comparison will be 88 to 92.
So here's the declivity 92 right there.
Yeah, there's your declivity.
There's an 88 over there too, right behind you.
A declivity 88.
Yeah.
Correct. There's also an ARV 88.
Yeah, Armada heavy wall today.
Triple Armada.
This time.
Yep. So yeah, if anybody else is wondering, hopefully that clears it up, and that's going to just make it really simple for us to select all the skis for these comparisons.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It all ends up working out in the end.
Yeah.
We get them all.
Yes.
Everything we have, we get.
Except for the skis that we don't get.
Right.
But yeah. So if you are missing a ski and you're wondering, it might just be slightly outside of the range of that video. And then I will talk about the ski test this time. We are really putting the finishing touches on it. Just lots of back-end development work. It's very different this year. I know I mentioned that before, but it just delayed it way longer than we thought it would. But
yeah,
getting real close.
These darn computers.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, Bob?
I don't think so. Get on with the news.
You can still get free Phantom.
Oh yeah,
for
2025 skis.
That ends September 9th. So we got a lot coming in too.
Yeah.
The amount of skis showing up at the door is exciting.
No, it's funny. Like last week, the kind of our lower warehouse area where all those skis go is pretty empty,
and now it's full. Yeah. So really exciting. And yeah, I think with that said, we can get right into the news. First topic of the week. This is kind of another rumor surrounding locks. Locks.
I think you got it.
I think so too. I had to double check. I know I correctly got it right the second try last video. And apparently Alterra is also rumored to be interested in locks. I didn't write down any details because there aren't really any details. It all just kind of feels like hearsay. But since you weren't here last week, Bob, what's your general take on Vail and or Alterra being interested in these Swiss resorts?
I mean, for those companies, why wouldn't you be interested in these huge, world-class resorts? That's kind of what they're, when I think of Vail, that's what they're going for, is
big established
resorts, and then putting their structure into it.
Yep.
From a European standpoint, I don't know where the benefit is because the infrastructure is already so established.
Yeah.
I think that Vail has done a great job with some of the smaller areas here, kind of
bolstering their lifts.
Getting them going, and where like an independent company wouldn't be able to afford that. So I can see the benefit there, but I'm not sure how much of a benefit it is for them at really established world-class resorts, other than just increasing their stronghold. I don't want to say stranglehold, but certainly increasing their portfolio in that regard. Yeah. And then obviously, like, they're going to want to bid against each other, and Laax wants, if they're going to sell, are going to want to get some bidding going.
I suppose it would be good for whoever is taking that money.
Right. So those are my thoughts, but I don't know. I got to get to Europe and
those are good thoughts.
See what they have to.
Obviously, I was in a different country, but yeah, like Kitzsteinhorn does not need any new lifts.
Right.
They had plenty of lifts. It kind of seemed like they were just building lifts for the sake of building lifts.
Right. There's a whole other area over here. Like, oh, we got to build a lift there. Like, opening up a new village. It seems to be
connecting. Yeah.
When you look at kind of the Google Maps of those European areas,
it's so cool.
There's not an area that doesn't have a lift.
Yeah.
So
there's just lifts everywhere.
There's lifts everywhere.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it'll be interesting to see what happens here, and I am 100% certain that this is not the last time we will talk about it.
No, and this is feeding into what we talked about earlier, where we need to just come up with a gossip and rumor section of Top 5 Fridays.
Yeah,
dealing specifically with speculation.
Glad you bring that up. Would people like to see a gossip/rumor section? And I say that with hesitancy because I feel like the answer is going to be yes, and I don't know that I'm ready to do that.
No, I'm not ready for
that. Okay, second topic of the week. National Ski Patrol is looking to increase their membership. We've talked about National Ski Patrol and Ski Patrol in general for a long time now. It's kind of been a big topic of conversation. They've basically opened up membership requirements to include applications from those holding certifications such as wilderness first responders or WFRs or EMTs. And this is different. Traditionally, they had to be certified through their own organization, the Outdoor Emergency Care Program. So they're basically just removing barriers to entry, sort of.
Hopefully not too many. That was that was like my kind of thought moving into this was, here at the Mount Mansfield Ski Patrol, a lot of my friends that were on it, I don't know if it's still the case, but they had to pay for their own EMT certification prior to being hired for a full-time paid position. Even the volunteers had to finance their own way through the EMT certification. So I'm not sure if it's the same way, but certainly on one hand, reducing restrictions will help them in one regard to get people in the door, just hoping that it's not too loose on your way in.
It doesn't seem like it.
No, and like they most certainly do a lot in terms of being a first responder and like a potentially really catastrophic situation. Yeah. But most of what they deal with is not that. Like they deal with a lot more things that
they kind of just need to be able to.
Right. But everyone I talk to is like, we call the ambulance, which is like what kind of a first responder is that's what they do.
Right. Get them to the ambulance.
Get them to the ambulance.
Yeah.
So I think that as long as they can do that reasonably efficiently, and there's a certain amount of people that are certified for emergency medical capabilities, then great. But it sounds like they need more people overall.
Well, it's interesting. Like you're saying the National Ski Patrol needs more people overall?
Needs more, they need more workers.
Well, it doesn't seem like, I could be wrong about this, but it doesn't seem like it needs to exist.
The organization.
Yeah.
You think that each mountain should be responsible for their own
So our
patrol?
our esteemed colleague Matt McGinnis, that was kind of his take on it, is that the face of Ski Patrol in general, as an industry, is changing.
Yeah.
With membership of the National Ski Patrol has been consistently declining, and then like all the unionization efforts are increasing.
Yeah.
So it's just like a different landscape than
Yeah.
what we're used to. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always going to be like that. You know, that organization or Ski Patrol in general is going to be such a intertwined fabric with just the whole skiing.
Yeah, I mean, I bet we'll be talking about this again pretty soon too.
Yeah.
You know, they're the takeaway here is that the National Ski Patrol is like sort of trying to reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
Second year CEO Stephanie Cox, she's kind of the driving force behind all this.
Making moves.
Yeah, making big moves, big decisions. Third topic of the week. Noah Dines has officially broken the record for most vertical feet climbed on skis in a year, and that record is now 2,506,500 vertical feet.
Seems tiring.
Yeah,
Looks tiring.
super tiring. Yeah. This just happened recently. He broke the record held by fellow Stowe local Aaron Rice.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Just kind of feeding off themselves, and I really enjoy the strategy involved with Noah's approach in terms of doing lots of smaller up and downs instead of.
Oh, I don't know that I necessarily knew that was his strategy.
Yeah, because like the guy before Aaron, I think was, he would do like huge mountains and got 2 million feet that way, which is still impressive.
Yep.
But Noah's looking to do like 10,000 a day, so like five.
It does
does like 5 stows.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a more efficient way of doing it. I think you don't have to.
When you said shorter, I was thinking like 100 feet.
No, shorter, like 2,000 vertical.
Have I ever told you about the edit that I've always wanted to make, where it like starts? It would either start as like a rail video, or it would start as like gearing up for touring, and it would basically be an edit of just hitting rails, but I skin up every time.
Okay.
As a just big joke.
Gotcha. But you could you could set a record for most rails skinned. Most human-powered rails.
One.
Yeah.
It's probably
the record.
Yeah.
Low bar.
Yeah. No, I always thought that would be funny.
Yeah.
To try and like pull a fast one on people of like this like big cinematic, like getting ready for your tour, changing all your clothes, putting your skins on, and then going like 15 feet and taking
doing
it all
one
off
rail.
and going.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it better. You got to find like the park with the most vertical of rails, and then do that.
Well,
or you could do your one if you want. I'm not going to stop you.
We'll continue to reassess whether we should do that or not. And then last news topic of the week, excuse me, New Zealand Winter Games is going on. Most of it is over. Some of it is still happening. I think halfpipe is still wrapping up this weekend, I think on the 8th, but the time difference is like here it'll probably be on the 7th. I don't know.
I don't know how
it's
it
the other
goes.
side of the world.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. But it's been really interesting. I've been watching a fair amount and following some of the results, and like tons of new and upcoming athletes, which I think is like the most interesting part. Like I don't recognize many of the names, which is just kind of cool. And then like in the halfpipe specifically, there's like tons of new names competing alongside like huge names like Eileen Gu, Kelly Sildaroo, who's back. Congratulations to Kelly for being back on snow. She missed like most of last year. I think ACL. And Alex Ferreira's there, Burke Irving's there, so kind of cool. And then some quick shout outs to some top U.S. finishers. Anton Holter was 12th in slopestyle. Congratulations, Anton. Kelly Hilecki?
Helicky?
Hilecki?
I don't know.
Maybe they watch. Hilleke. He was 7th in the 4-star freeride event. And then Ava Perryman was 8th for the women in the same event. So just thought we'd give some quick shout outs to some young U.S. athletes. And that's it for news. Moving on to our edits of the week. This first one's pretty darn cool. It's the official music video for Here I Go from Yonder Mountain String Band, which just happens to also basically be a Chris Benchetler ski edit.
Yeah, really interesting fusion here of...
He's got tons of interesting fusions.
An official music video paired with an athlete's individual ski video.
Yep. In the time I spent with Chris last winter, he talked a little bit about some current and future projects that he's been working on, and I wouldn't ever want to say anything for fear of giving something away that I'm not supposed to, but he's doing some really cool stuff.
And like also interesting that a lot of ski movies, you know, I'm sure you have some like songs that you associate with segments.
Yes.
You know, like there's definitely that going on, and it's interesting to see that this is like just a specific, here's what we're going to do about that.
The entire soundtrack from Shanghai 6.
That's one
burned into my brain forever, because I probably watched that movie 250 times the year it came out. Yeah.
For me, it's an old snowboard movie we used to watch in college called Steak and Lobster.
Yeah, sure.
And Seven Mary Three had their song Water's Edge.
Yeah.
And I just have a vivid memory of the whole segment from Water's Edge.
It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
Like, great song, great segment. Like, those things go together.
Yeah, you're right. They just skipped that step there.
You don't need a whole movie. You just do the one thing.
Yeah. And then second edit of the week, we have Traveling Circus episode 17.1. So episode 1 of their 17th season, which is just crazy to think about. Last week, I talked a little bit about driving in a Isuzu Ombre out to Mammoth and asked if people wanted more Mammoth Isuzu Ombre stories. This isn't necessarily like Isuzu Ombre related, but Will Wesson slept on my couch in my house, which wasn't actually in Mammoth. It was like, I don't know, half an hour south or something. I think south. Anyways, Will slept on my couch for like 3 months. Most of the Traveling Circus guys are all pretty good friends of mine. So Will has ridden in both the front and the bed of that Isuzu Ombre a lot. What's another good Will Wesson Mammoth story? SpaghettiOs, mashed potatoes, and peas.
For food?
Yeah, for like dinner.
Yeah, it's great. Carbs and vegetables.
Yeah. So Will introduced me to SpaghettiOs, mashed potatoes, and peas. And Will, if you're watching, I'm sure everyone would be interested if you still enjoy SpaghettiOs, mashed potatoes, and cheese.
Timeless combination.
I'm glad that you're familiar with this.
I mean, we make a lot of mac and cheese and peas.
At home.
Yeah.
You should try SpaghettiOs, mashed potatoes, and peas.
I will.
It's pretty good.
That sounds awesome.
I think there's like a specific type, like I think you need like SpaghettiOs with meatballs. I can't remember.
And then like instant mashed potatoes?
I mean, this was definitely,
yeah.
We had no money.
Yeah.
So like, this was definitely instant mashed potatoes, but if I were to do it now, I would do it with real mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Well, you should come up with like...
Elevated?
Elevated, yeah, exactly.
And then like serve it to Will sometime.
Yeah, eat it yourself.
Send him some frozen.
Yeah, ziplock it, freeze lock it, vacuum seal it, and send it out.
I'm sure he'd be psyched, actually. Anyways, so there's both another edit and some Mammoth stories. And then we have Balance from Owen Smith. I think it was like 6.5 minutes long. Pretty impressive skiing in there. And then this one's kind of funny. Videos like this are always like, I never really know what to think about them, but it has tons of views. So like people clearly watch them.
Yeah, the weather prediction videos.
Yeah, so it's when to expect your first snowfall from direct weather, and I don't know, just wait.
It'll happen when it happens, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about stuff like that every once in a while. Of like as far as skiing is concerned, we are sort of spoiled or unique in the sense that we just wake up and go skiing.
Right.
So there's very little like, I don't watch the weather very much in the winter at all.
Right. It's going to be some combination of cold, snow, rain, sun, clouds.
Yeah. And I'll figure it out in the morning.
Right.
And then put on the appropriate attire and get the appropriate skis and go to the mountain.
Yep.
So
some people like to know.
I know.
They want to know the day.
You're setting yourself up for disappointment, though.
I think so. I
with
agree.
The expectations.
Yeah.
So, anyways, always kind of interesting. And that's it. You got anything to end with, Bob?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm excited to do this one.
Another 2.5 hours. It's a lot of skis.
Probably.
Really done it.
Yep. Yeah, let us know what you think of the slightly different format. So I think the most we'd ever done before was 24. So 27 was 3 more skis than we had ever done. So if you watched the mid-90 or maybe you're going to watch it, either leave a comment there or you can come back and leave it here and let us know what you think of fitting that many skis into a comparison.
Seems to work.
I had fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was somewhere when we were over there, I was getting nervous we were going to hit 3 hours.
It's a long way to go.
And then I think we sped up somewhere like around here.
Yeah.
So anyways, let us know what you think. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.